Hello students, welcome to the English class. Well students, we have started discussing the sample question paper of the English code that has been released by CBSE few days ago under the rationalized syllabus, and we have already discussed the part A reading skills. Okay, the two passages, it's coming for 20 marks, two passages 10 marks each, and the first passage was the comprehension based passage and the second one is the the visual imagery passage. Okay, today we are going to continue further with the literature section from the part A. Students, it is to be noted that the part A which has been assigned to you is completely MCQ based. Okay, whether it is the reading skill or whether it is the literature is again of 20 marks. Okay, so this is also completely MCQ based questions are coming. So in the literature part, two ways the questions have been given. The first part that we can see in the literature, it is the extract based question. The first question that is coming, okay, that is question number 3, are from prose. The extracts are coming from the prose section. Okay, if you see the first prose, food is more important for survival than an identity. Of course we can understand this is coming from the Lost Spring. Now see the questions. Okay, the extract has been given from the Lost Spring. Now see the type of question, the typology of question that has been set over here. Okay, if you see the first question, the phrase transit homes refer to the dwellings that are. Now of course this is a direct question, no problem. If you read the chapter properly, you can easily understand what is the meaning of transit home. Okay, you have to find out the meaning of transit home, then from the 4 option you can get the answer. Now see the second question, which is a very interesting question. The second question says, identify the figure of speech used in the sentence garbage to them is gold. Now students, till last year also or few days ago also, we have been concentrating on the figures of speech used in the poem section, the poetry section. Okay, like from the poetry some extract will be given and the question will be asked that who name the poet, what figure of speech has been used here. Okay, this was the type of question that usually used to come from the poetry section. But now you see here students, from this sample question paper we have understood that figures of speech can come from the prose section also. So garbage to them is gold. What figure of speech is used over here? Okay, that is what the thing. Of course the answer is hyperbole. Okay, because garbage has been compared to gold, something a very small or a what we can say, something that has a very minimal value has been given, has been exaggerated and given the value to be of a very high estimate. Okay, like garbage has been compared to a gold. Okay, so that is why it is known as hyperbole. Now students, what I want to say here is that when we are studying the prose section, we hardly gave importance to this particular fact. Okay, now this is very much important. It has become important that from anywhere a line can be taken out from the prose. Okay, and the question can be asked that mention the figure of speech used here. That means we have to read the prose very carefully. We have to read the chapter thoroughly. Once we know the chapter thoroughly and understand the significance of each and every line, then figures of speech will automatically also come up, right? So students, we have to give importance to the figures of speech. Like this, any line can be taken out and figures of speech can be asked. So we have to go through each and every passage, each and every prose, and see which lines are important and what figures of speech has been used over there. Okay, next. Choose the term which best matches the statement food is more important for survival than an identity. That means the question is asking that what is the meaning of this particular phrase. What does the acquired the proportions of a fine art mean? Okay, so here is also meaning. What is the meaning of this particular line? Means explanation of the line is being asked. So from the 4 option you have to find out the option. So what we can see is the questions are very direct except for the second question, which is very unusual questions related to the prose extract. Now we will go to extract number B. Now in the literature section, as it is being said here, it is said that you have to attend any two extract. Okay, so if you see, there has been given something like 3 extracts have been given. Okay, so out of 3 extracts you have to do any 2. Number 1 extract was from Lost Spring, second extract is from Mahatma, that means indigo. The second extract is from indigo. Okay, So, from Indigo, what kinds of question have appeared? The officials felt powerless because a very direct question. The demonstration proved that this is also a direct question. Which style from those given below is being used by the author when he says apparently the authorities wish to consult their superior? Now, this is not a direct question here. The style of the writer, the tone of the writer has been used, has been asked. Okay, in what tone the writer has written that particular phrase? The authorities wish to consult their superiors. Okay. Next, Gandhiji's behavior towards the British prior to the proposal of postponement of the trial was that of. So, from Indigo, we find the questions are very direct, directly to the text, okay, directly to the extract. So, it won't be much difficult. If you know the extract, if you know the prose properly, then it won't be a much difficulty for you to answer these questions. Next, we will go to number C. Number C is Joe, that means should visit his mommy. Now, here the questions are very interesting. If you see the questions over here, see question number 1. Choose the option that best demonstrates the relevant traits of Joe and Jack respectively. Okay, that means the characteristic traits. Okay, that is what is Joe and what kind of traits Joe is displaying and what kind of traits Jack is displaying. Okay. Curious and irritable, patient and irritable, curious and lethargic, patient and lethargic. Okay, so this we have to find out the characteristic trait used by Joe and Jack considering the extract, not considering the entire chapter, but considering the extract. Okay, next you see here, Joe was starting to fuss with her hands. This means that Joe was, so what was the reaction of Joe, or what was Joe exactly doing? Was she feeling anxious? Was she getting restless? Was she feeling lazy, or was she fighting the sleep? Okay, so what was actually she doing? Okay, Joe's what indicated what she was feeling. Pick the option that correctly states this feeling. Okay, so here again comes what. Okay, so Joe is asking. So here you see, here is the, from the extract only the question is given when said that when Roger Skunk's mother was very unhappy getting the smell of Roger Skunk as a rose smell. So Joe was very much surprised. Okay, so what was it actually? What was this Joe's what does it exactly mean, right? Okay, and number 4, mommy says well off the nerve. This reveals her. So here also we find the characteristic traits. Okay, that is, why did mommy say so? What exactly was actually happening to her? Which characteristic traits can be best describe the mummy over here? Okay. So this is the prose section. From 3 extract, any 2 we have to do. And from the poetry extract, from 2 extract, any 1 we have to do. Okay, so let's see which poetries have come in the extract. Number 1 is Elementary School, Shakespeare's Head on sour cream walls. This I have already told when I have explained in the class that these lines are very, very important. Okay, so you see, what does the expression sour cream walls suggest? Very direct question. Okay, the map of the world in the classroom symbolizes. This also we have done repeatedly in the class. The expression Shakespeare's Head is an example of. And number 4 is in the extract, futures painted with a fox suggests that. So here we find that all the phrases are very direct to the extract. So, and the next extract, if we go through, we find the next extract is about thing of beauty. Okay, we have imagined for the mighty death. So this is from A Thing of Beauty. Okay, now see here, the phrase immortal drink refers to all lovely tales evoke the feeling of. The rhyme scheme of the above extract is the literary device used by the poet in the following lines. So if we see the poetry section also, the MCQ is very much directly related to the extract, okay, and directly related to the poem also. We have been doing these answers, so I don't find these questions very difficult. It's very easy questions given openly to the questions are actually very easy. Okay. Now, if we continue further, okay, see here, there are the next literature part where 10 questions are given. Yes, 10 questions are given, okay, and out of this, only 8 you have to attempt. Okay, so only 8 questions we have to attempt. Okay, now let's see what kind of question. Here it is not extract based questions. You have read the text beforehand and analyzing upon your understanding you have to answer these questions. Okay, so see here, the writer tones down the philosophical load inherent in the rat trap with the inclusion of. Okay, so here you see these questions are all analytical based, where we have seen that the extract questions were very direct, but here when we are going to see the MCQ based questions, the 8 questions, these are very much analytical based questions. Okay, choose the statement that is not true with reference to Douglas. Okay, so here we find the characteristic traits which is not referring to Douglas. Spender's use of imagery in his eyes live in a dream of squirrel game in tree room other than this brings out. So what is the imagery? What exactly this particular phrase or this particular line brings out? Okay, that we are going to see here. Keats celebrates trees as a boon in the poem A Thing of Beauty. With reference to this statement, which of the following option is not true? Okay, so you see these questions are not directly to the poem, but after reading the poem or after reading the prose, how much you have comprehended, how much you have understood. Based on that understanding only, you have to write down these answers, right? Okay, next concluding his last lesson by writing Vive la France on the blackboard shows that M. Hamel. So this one also, what was M. Hamel's reaction or what was his emotions when he had written down Vive la France? Rajkumar Shukla's efforts resulted in Gandhiji's fight for the farmers' case. This showcases that he was. Here again the characteristic traits of Gandhi we are going to see. Okay, it is clear that the speaker in Aunt Jennifer's Tiger has an attitude of dash towards her. Okay, what was the attitude of the poet when she was saying about Aunt Jennifer? Keeping quiet uses fishermen to symbolize man's. This we have already done in the class. Sahib's discarded and worn out tennis shoes are. In the poem My Mother at 66, all that the poet did was smile and smile and smile. Her smile is. That means the meaning of this particular smile. Okay, why did she smile? Okay. Some questions are very much direct to the poem and the prose, but few questions are there where you have to analyze and evaluate your own answers. Okay, you have to understand that what you have means how much you have grabbed the meaning of the story or grabbed the meaning of the poem, and accordingly only you have to form your own answer or form your own choose your own option, right? Students, we have discussed the literature section today, and in my next video we will be discussing the part B, okay, where the writing and the next literature sections are there. Okay, we will see in details that in what manner we are going to prepare ourselves for the boards regarding the writings and the literature part. Okay. As I have told you in my last video also, practice makes a man perfect. So I want that every one of you please take out your copy and write down these answers, okay, properly in your copy, and that will only help you to practice out. Okay, so thank you students, study well.